What's up? It's Jhene Aiko, chilling with 2dopeboys.com.
Are you sure we haven't met before?
So how did you end up connecting with No ID and finding yourself on Def Jam?
I had a friend who was working with No ID, and he called me after the release of Selling Souls. I was like, I'm working with No ID now. He wants to meet with you, and I didn't really know exactly like what he was meeting with me about, but I was like, No ID, like of course, like he's like a legend, so I went to the meeting, and everything was just like the energy, the vibe, like everything about the situation was perfect for me. And so in that meeting he told me, I'm going to be taking a position with Def Jam, and I want you to be one of the first acts that I bring with me. And it was mainly because I'm a real like energy type of person. Like I love to just feel out a person's whole energy and aura, I guess. Exactly. And so with him, he was like the first person I had met with after the mixtape had dropped that I felt just super comfortable with. So far it's been like an amazing experience. He's definitely in my corner. And
Come here for, you know my name, you know my face, but you don't know me, you must be crazy.
Pac was a big influence on you growing up, and you even wrote a letter to him to let him know how you felt about him. How do you remember him?
Well, I was really young when he was at his like prime. I think I was like like 5 or 6. And so I really didn't get to experience Tupac the artist. I got to experience him as like Tupac the icon type of thing, you know what I mean? And I just sort of got into him just as a teenager. I started reading his books and got into his poetry and just started finding out more about the type of person he was. And he was just so, I was so drawn to him because I felt like I could be that type of artist, you know what I mean? For me, he stands for standing for something in music, you know what I mean? Like he's not just a rapper. He had something really important to say.
Really passionate.
Right, he was really passionate, and he did a lot, you know what I mean? And I just feel like as an artist, as a person who makes music, music is really important as far like to tell your message, you know what I mean? Like it's important to take a stand in something you believe in and not just make meaningless music. And so for me, I grew up in LA. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, and I grew up around all the 90s hip hop and R&B, and he was definitely played in my household a lot and all that. So yeah. And Keep Your Head Up is like my favorite song of all time.
Having past history with TDE, will there be any more music in the works with them?
Definitely. Absol for sure is going to be on Sold Out. I respect everything that those guys do over there. They are really, I feel like they're the best right now at their craft, and they stand for, they stand for something. It's not just, let's make a radio hit. And I feel like I'm completely just down for their whole movement. So hopefully, there's more collaborations, but like I said, for sure Absol's on the album, and hopefully there'll be a couple more.
Also on Big Sean Detroit mixtape, you're featured on the song I'm Gonna Be. How was that put together?
Well, he works closely with No ID, and we're always in the studio together, and he's a super hard worker and a dope lyricist too. And I mean, basically we just we met and we just connected musically, and he had all these songs that he wanted me to get on. And as soon as he played I'm Gonna Be, I was like, yes, please let me on this. And I always tell him like, you should make more songs like this, like inspirational, and what I mean, not just make like the ass the dance records, because I feel like he has that same thing that Tupac sort of had, like that charisma. So it's important that he says something more than. I recorded a few things for his album. I'm not sure which ones are gonna make it or not, and I have some songs in mind for him to feature on for my album.
Even though you're on select dates of the Life is Good Back Rage tour, how is it to be touring with two prominent artists in hip hop?
It's crazy. Yeah, Nas is amazing. I watch him, you know, almost every night after I perform, and just to hear his catalog, you know what I mean? He's been doing it for so long, and just to see the crowd like sing along word for word, and I was like a late Nas fan, you know what I mean? But just to, you know, he's like amazing, and to share this stage with him and Lauryn Hill, like of course Lauryn Hill is like the epitome of like a female solo artist to me. She raps, she sings, and her lyrics are crazy, and it was like, and it's an honor to share the stage and for me to be asked to be on that tour, because it really makes me, you know, feel like people are starting to understand like what type of artist I am. You know what I mean? The comparisons in the beginning were just like way off, and I'm like, no, like, you know what I mean? So now I feel like people understand, like with me being on this tour with Nas and Lauryn Hill, like they're in the vein of the music that I'm trying to make. You know what I mean? So.
While the meaning of your upcoming debut album, Sold Out, may seem a little bit self-explanatory, what's your take on it, the namesake?
Being sold out, just, you know, it's a play on words, of course. It's kind of like saying you're the opposite of being a sellout, like selling your soul. It's like just being full of soul. And for me, every song on Sold Out is like a piece of me, you know what I mean? Spilling my heart, and you know what I mean? Just giving people something to connect to.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times people get caught up in, you know, the world and what you're supposed to look like and supposed to sound like and supposed to want. For me, being sold out just means being just knowing who you are, knowing that you are a soul, and not just, you know, what you look like in your outer shell. And just staying true to yourself.
Okay, what can we expect from Sold Out?
Sold Out is definitely, it's been growing by the day. I have like over 20 songs. Which songs are gonna make it? I'm recording every day until, you know, the release of it. And it's growing into being just like a really introspective piece of work, I guess. To me, each song is better than the last. And it's really just how I feel. And I write to get over things, and I write to just deal with my problems and, you know, explain my different things that I'm going through or whatever. So Sold Out is just me. It's just me pouring out my soul. 2013, as early as possible. And I'm going to fight whoever I have to make that happen. Hey, it's Jhene Aiko. I just wanted to thank everybody for their support. And visit me on Twitter, Jhene Aiko, JheneAiko. I have a visual coming out this month, November, and yeah, just stay tuned. Sold Out 2013.
I think we may be in a different book, on a different page. You said you were different, but you're the same.